additional witnesses, people rest.
All right. Any witnesses for the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, people move for bind over on the single count of assaulting, resisting, or obstructing Darnell Tyson. Will reserve any further argument for rebuttal.
Respond. The sergeant's name was Sergeant Griggs, wasn't it?
Gibbs, G-I-B-B, opposite boy S.
Why are we not hearing the testimony of the other witnesses?
I'm sorry?
I was asking why we're not hearing the testimony of the other witnesses.
Because neither one of the parties called them.
Right here is where procedure quietly becomes power. Once both parties rest, reopening proofs isn't automatic. It's discretionary. A judge controls that gate. And when a defendant suddenly says, "I'd like to call them," after everyone sat down, that's not routine. That's strategic recalibration. Question is this confidence or damage control?
I would like to call him, Your Honor.
This courtroom moment starts like a routine procedural exchange, but within minutes, it turns into a tense legal tug-of-war over witness procedure, evidence integrity, and courtroom control. You're about to see a defendant push aggressively for additional testimony after the prosecution rests, and the judge's patience gets tested more than once. Watch closely how the rules of witness sequestration, objections, and legal form collide in real time. One small procedural mistake, letting officers watch testimony online, suddenly becomes a major credibility issue. The question is, does reopening testimony help the defense or backfire badly? Stay with this because what happens next shows exactly how fast courtroom strategy can flip under pressure. And I want to know, would you reopen witnesses if their testimony might be compromised?
Any objection to reopening the proofs?
I will let the court know part of the reason I changed my mind is because I failed to instruct the officers who were in the hallway that they could not watch the proceedings on YouTube. So it's my understanding they did watch the testimony of Officer Tyson on YouTube.
This is huge. Witness sequestration exists to prevent testimony contamination. If officers were watching prior testimony on YouTube, that can affect credibility, even unintentionally. But here's the twist. The prosecution admitted it. Transparency helps, but it doesn't erase the procedural problem. So what do you think? Does reopening fix the issue or spotlight it?
I apologize for that. Didn't intend to have that happen. I deeply am regretful of that. I did not know what was going on until I went out in the hallway. Didn't intend to call them because their sequestration had been broken and the rest of the proofs that were put for the court.
Still wish to call them?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are they still here?
I believe so. Which one?
Which one do you want, sir? Both of them. Great. Just bring everybody back.
All right. Sounds great.
Okay. So, which one do you want to call, Mr. Magoo?
Start with Officer Smith.
All right. Officer Smith, did you want the other officer? Did you want the sergeant? Did you want the sergeant sequestered during this testimony, or?
Yes. No, you do.
No, you don't give orders. You just don't.
Sorry.
You just don't. No, you don't.
That exchange right there, courtroom hierarchy in real time. You don't give orders, you make requests. Judges guard courtroom control fiercely because structure equals fairness. When tone shifts, credibility shifts. And once a judge senses disrespect, every ruling after that carries extra weight.
Wes.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, keep smiling. That won't end well. Let's have him talk.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. See, state your first and last name for the record, please.
First name is Lawrence, LAWRENCE, last name is Smith, SMITH.
You may inquire.
Oh, there. Sorry. Is it on?
It's your witness.
Right. How you doing, Officer Smith? Okay. You have to lay a foundation with, since we all know where we're at on the night. Where were you in the October 11th, 2:50 in the morning, and what brought you to there?
Objection compound.
Okay.
Sustained. Ask your question.
What led you to a parking lot in Ypsilanti on October 11th, 2024, at 2:50 in the morning, approximately?
We were dispatched to a
Fight in progress.
Yes.
Did you get a description of the people in the fight? What was the description? Do you remember? You were just looking for 2 people, or how many people? Don't recall. Okay. Do you recall the ethnicity of the people that were called? Were they what the dispatch? Who was the dispatched over the fight? I believe they gave some descriptive words in the police report. And do you recall what the do you recall any descriptive words that would characterize the people that you were looking for on October 11th? What led you to approach me?
Well, we seen an individual sitting, obviously slumped over and looking unresponsive at the point, and we seen alcoholic beverages around the individual, so we assumed it was high intox. So at that point, it's our job and duty to end up rendering aid to the individual, and then having the ambulance come and assess their medical needs at that point.
You assessed that another individual was highly intoxicated?
Yes, due to our observations and our direct comparison.
Is that a crime? Highly intoxicated?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevant.
Sustained.
Which part of assuming somebody was highly intoxicated warrants your interjection?
Can you ask your question again, just for clarification?
Are you trained on high intox?
I'm not trained in high intox.
On recognizing drunk drivers or something?
I've been in the police for less than a year, and I've observed multiple people that have high intox, and then also by direction of my sergeant, who's also been doing this for 4 years plus. I believe that we can observe somebody that's high intox. So that
He was definitely highly intox, huh? You would guarantee, right?
Your Honor, that misstates the testimony evidence.
You can keep trying.
Okay.
The form of your questions are a problem.
Okay. At what point did you and I engage physically?
when you did follow the directives of my sergeant, who was that you leave the scene as we ready to confront and assess what he had.
Did he cite any legal authority to make me leave the scene?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Sustained.
Relevance. Your Honor, I'm trying to understand the amount. Do you know? Okay. How long were you on the scene, approximately, until I was arrested? Okay. Under 5 minutes?
At the moment, I was looking forward to the first memory.
Did you or your sergeant establish or discuss any probable cause to arrest me?
My sergeant gave us a directive to put you in the back of the patrol vehicle due to you obstructing our investigation. We were trying to assist your friend in getting medical attention. At that point, you were resisting. You put your hands onto the car, not the patrol vehicle, in the car, and you clenched your
Okay.
palms together.
So, but hold up a second.
No, you cannot stop him. You ask the question, he's going to get to answer it.
Critical moment. You cannot interrupt a witness mid-answer, especially after you ask the question. That's foundational trial procedure. The judge stepping in like this signals something important. The court is prioritizing orderly testimony over theatrics. And notice how quickly momentum changes once the witness is allowed to finish uninterrupted.
So you don't stop him. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, you may.
So at that point, you were resisting. So then we got the direct boxer to detain you. Then after you assault on the sergeant gets another directive to place you in the back of the patrol vehicle for assault on a police officer. So I had multiple encounters with you putting your hands on. Yes.
Okay. Backing up to the point of which I was thrown up against the vehicle. You're saying that the crime or the violation that I was in was not stepping away. Is that correct?
You were obstructing the investigation, yes.
Is obstruction, is that a physical act?
Trying to object is a legal conclusion.
Sustained.
Is
Corpus delicti. That's not casual courtroom vocabulary. It means proof that a crime actually occurred. The defense is arguing there's no foundational crime established yet, but the judge disagrees, and that's massive. Because once the court believes probable cause exists, the defense is now climbing uphill. Do you think obstruction was clearly established here?
obstruction of justice, is that a verbal or a physical?
Sir. What are you asking? Because it seems to me that you seem to be asking this officer for a legal conclusion. And
Okay.
I'm not going to have him answer the question until you can clarify what your question is.
In your opinion, is it your opinion that I obstructed physically?
I'm going to object this to the form of the question as to the time, because it's not clear to me.
Sustain. I'll sustain it. You need to clarify your question as to at what point.
Yeah, at the point of which Officer Gibbs or Sergeant Gibbs and yourself pushed me against the vehicle to arrest me. To detain. Okay. At that time, was my detainment because of verbal or physical obstruction?
My sergeant asked you to place your hands behind your back. You did not do so. So we assisted you by placing your hands behind your back. You did not do so when you was placed against the vehicle.
So could you label where my obstruction was?
Your objection. asked the answer. I think he's been extremely clear about the different ways in which the defendant obstructed the investigation.
What investigation is what I'm trying to get to? We still don't have a corpus delicti, Your Honor.
So I think we do, but that's okay. You think differently. I'll sustain the objection. You can try again, rephrase your question.
Under what investigation were you under?
Assisting your friend who was high intox.
Assisting high intox. Okay. Is that a normal police duty?
Yes.
Under those situations, is there ever a charge that would complement this?
Implement what?
Complement the assisting the high intox.
Okay, let's try to get this clear. You were there rendering medical assistance, potential medical assistance to the individual that was sitting on the ground.
Yes.
Right? Part of a police officer's duties, if they see someone that is in distress or in need of medical attention, would be to render aid. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's what you were doing that evening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we can move on.
Okay. What do you think my role was?
Your role in one, can you clarify for me, sir?
So you have one really intoxicated friend and then one that's trying to talk to you. At which point, or which role do you think I would be under when this investigation is going down?
I don't even know what that means. What do you mean role?
Your Honor, the officers showed up on the scene.
Yes.
There was no call for them to be there for me or my buddy. Okay, they showed up and they made themselves a part of our taxi ride home, and I got a charge for it.
No. Here's what happened. As I says, I can best determine. They're dispatched regarding a fight. They come across something else. It was somebody that may look like they need medical attention. As this officers testified, that's part of their obligation to render aid when it looks as though it's necessary. They were attempting to try to do so. Your intervention or role began to take place when you failed to follow the instruction of Sergeant Gibb. That's what I have so far. So now you may go on to your next question.
Did you write your police report for that night? You did?
Yes.
You do that manually, or I'm sorry, on a computer, or do you handwrite them? Did you happen to write anybody else's? The report? No. Okay. Have you read the report recently?
Yes.
Have you read all of them?
Yes.
Do you find any similarities between them?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Any response to that?
Relevance, I'm trying to figure out where these, the relevance, they're all identical reports. It's pretty relevant, copied and pasted.
Maybe because they were all there.
And they all said exactly the same thing. Verbatim.
Okay. So this officer didn't write anybody else's reports. He just testified to that.
Okay.
So what's your next question to this officer?
Okay. On your report, do you recall any notaries of the presence of alcohol?
I'll need to look at my report to the first one.
Okay. Do you recall reporting any alcohol?
I'll have to look at my report.
Okay. Would you agree that alcohol was a significant contribution to the reason why me and you met?
I'm gonna object to speculation here.
Sustained.
Okay, we have my friend that was called for high intox, correct?
No, we were dispatched to the progress.
Okay. Fight in progress. You showed up on the scene and you notice someone's highly intoxicated. That wasn't a part of the fight that you were dispatched for, correct?
Objection leading.
Sustained.
Who dispatched Huron Valley Ambulance?
Oh, it's Tyson.
Officer Tyson did? Okay. What was the dispatch for?
High intox.
Seeing how that was, well, I mean, you agreed that that was part of your investigative duties to assist in my buddy's intoxication.
Well, the form of that question.
I know that. Okay.
So rephrase.
Let me rephrase. Would you agree that the reason that you and I met was because of alcohol?
Objection. Ask the
Sustained.
What was the
Rephrase.
objection?
You heard the objection.
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
It was actually asked and answered, but it should have been relevant.
Yes, it could actually apply to both.
It does.
So,
Okay. Ask and answer. Is that what she said?
yes, rather clearly. It's about the fourth or fifth time that she's had to do that. So,
Okay.
I would think 5. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
Did you find any alcohol on the scene?
You asked for just verification.
Did you find any alcohol when you guys arrived on the scene?
Observed any alcohol? Or fine.
Both. Yeah.
Sorry,
Officer, you heard Officer Tyson's testimony?
yes.
Okay. Did you hear him mention the fireball? Yes. Okay. And then you heard him mention the seltzers?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see these yourself you did? Okay. So, was there anything else besides those two?
Nothing.
Okay. Nothing illegal? You don't recall any illegal contraband or anything on us or near us?
Your Honor, objection. I'm going to object because he said he has to keep this board for fresh recollection since he can't answer that question.
Sustained.
When you're collecting evidence as part of your duties, what is the proper protocol when you collect evidence?
Can you clarify your question? Ask again, please.
What standards or procedures do you conduct when you are obtaining evidence on an investigation? Do you log that information? Do you report it to anybody?
What I'm objecting is the compound.
Sustained.
He's not getting a,
I'm so sorry, Your Honor. It's okay.
Goodbye, Miss Senda. Enjoy your dinner. Take care.
if you found a knife nearby on the same describe the same scenario, there was a switchblade knife, what would you do?
Objection, relevance.
I'm asking for the
I'll
procedures.
overrule it. Let him go.
Depending on the relevance of the knife to the situation or investigation, we'll dispose of the knife if it comes to not being relevant due to there being a safety hazard. If it was logged as evidence, it would be logged properly at the Waikiki station, the Epstein police station.
Okay.
Before even touching the knife, I'll put on gloves. Then I'll put it into an evidence bag, label it, tag it, and I'll place it into my patrol vehicle. After that, I'll transfer it to the Epstein police department, and I'll log it into the evidence locker.
And here's where it all crystallizes. Evidence handling protocol. Gloves, bagging, logging, chain of custody. These details may seem technical, but cases collapse over mishandled evidence. The defense is probing consistency. Are reports identical because facts match or because they were copied? That distinction can shape reasonable doubt. So, final question. Was this lawful detention or escalation born from attitude on both sides?
Notify my sergeant immediately.
Okay.
Wow. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. That was an impressive answer.
So, given that you did observe alcohol on the scene, who reported it?
Who reported it? Like, reported to Metro Dispatch about the high intoxicated friend? Or what do we do with the...
I'm specifically asking about the reports that were made, but also what happened with the items as well.
The reports of what?
The police reports, yeah.
What do you mean what happened to them?
What we've just watched is a textbook example of how courtroom outcomes often hinge less on emotion and more on procedure, question framing, and rule compliance. The defense tried to challenge probable cause, officer conduct, and evidence handling, but struggled with objection rules and legal form. The judge consistently enforced structure. Witnesses give facts, not legal opinions. Questions must be clear, relevant, and non-compound. The key legal themes here were obstruction standards, lawful police duty to render aid, and whether physical non-compliance justified detention. Cases like this show how fast a roadside or parking lot encounter can evolve into a criminal charge based on behavior during the investigation, not just the original call. Now I want your verdict. Did the officers act properly, or did this escalate unnecessarily? If you found this case as intense as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.